Alright guys, welcome back to the series where we're going to be climbing the online versus challenge ladder. Basically the gist of the ladder is you get 21 days to get 2,000 points, get about 10 points per victory. For average victory, 15 points for a victory where your opponent is deemed to have an advantage. These 21 days here, they're giving away a full art Getsa, so we're going to do our best on this series here is to get those rewards. Obviously we have to play some off stream to do so, but this week we'll be doing one deck per week. This week we're going to be use Giratina-Seismitoad. Basically the point of the deck is it's a lock deck. Seismitoad will lock all abilities, or all energy, or trainers rather, my apologies. Giratina will be locking all tools, special energies, and stadiums. You use Keldeo to switch between the two mid-match. Also I went with the Hoopa so we can get out Keldeo, Giratina, Seismitoad, or Shaman if we need it, or the Jirachi. I like playing Jirachi in any this is an expanded deck. I like playing Jirachi in expanded decks because it allows you to get the supporters you need. If there's one you particularly need, like you need a Lysander for a turn, or Sycamore, anything like that, you can do it. A couple of trainers, Hypnotoxic Laser is pretty standard in an expanded Seismitoad deck. Scoop Up for prize denial. Hopefully you're not getting one shot by a lot of things, so that can help deny surprises. Replay Shamans, Ultra Ball's pretty standard. Energy denials, I went 2 crushing, 2 enhanced. Computer search for consistency. VS Seekers, standard choice. We're going to play 1 Colress in the deck. Usually in expanded you'll see a lot of like Skyfield decks, so it'll really help to draw some cards out. Went with 2 Lysander, didn't really want to have to play with 1 prized, so we went with 2. I am playing a Hex Maniac in the deck. That way, if there is Aegislash gives this deck a lot of problems, and there's a lot of ability-based, special energy hate really for abilities. So I went with Hex Maniac to shut off 1. If you're gonna try and Shaman on your first couple of turns, Hex Maniac will take that away if I have no other supporters to play. But mainly it's just to beat Aegislash. I ran into a lot of it in testing, so I added 1 in there just in case I come into an Aegislash, I can do a little damage to it. Team Flare Gun, more energy denials. Standard draw support N for Juniper. Zero Sick. If they get a Spirit Link in play turn 1, I can Zero Sick off and then proceed to item lock them. Skyla, again, I just played a 1/1 mainly because I love the art on the new Breakpoint Skyla. It's one of my favorite cards ever. But I played that, but it also does have some utility. If you need to get the Hypnotoxic Laser to secure and knock out that turn, Skyla can make sure you get it. 1 AZ, of course, for prize denial. Now this, I really like running the 1 Silent Lab in this deck, mainly because if you can get Silent Lab out, and then you have Giratina locking your opponent from playing stadiums, your Silent Lab gets to stay in play. Which is really nice against like Rayquaza decks or any type of deck that relies on a stadium. This deck doesn't really rely on a stadium. Also, Giratina can lock in your Verbank, so they can't get rid of Verbank. But mainly, I've run into a lot of decks where they were Keldeo based and Hypnotoxic Laser wasn't working because you'll Hypnotoxic them, Keldeo will rush in, retreat, and clears the poison. Silent Lab prevents Keldeo from doing its thing. 2 Float Stones for the Keldeo, 3 Muscle Band standard, and I am opting to play 2 Headringers. Energy count, real easy. 4 double colorless energy, 3 double dragon energy. Again, this deck is reliant upon special energy, so you're really going to get a lot of decks, especially the ones with that new Jirachi in there. They're going to try and counter that, but hopefully Hypnotoxic Laser and Verbank takes care of that Jirachi pretty easily. So we're going to jump right onto the ladder here, and we're going to play a game. Now, I'm not very well versed in this deck. This is only my 4th or 5th match with it, so I'm still learning the deck. So if I scrub it out, I scrub it out. We're going to learn together. We're just testing for regionals here. I have one coming up in May that I'm really trying to get ready for, and this is a deck possibility. All right, so I never win the coin flip, so it doesn't matter. Hey, I won the coin flip. Alright, of course, always go first. It definitely helps with setting up. Alright, so it's a pretty easy decision what I'm benching here. I'm going to bench both. I'm not going to bench both Giratina right off the bat. I'm going to leave some room in my deck because I might want to grab a Hoopa and a Toad. So we'll leave that off there for now. I may end up benching the second Giratina at some point. but right now I'm just going to leave it off. You know, and I might even want to try and scoop this one up and get Toad in the active. It really all depends on what his active is. Hawlucha. Okay, so this is a fighting deck first. Let's see what he's going with. He's got Hawlucha, Mew-EX, which is really nice for that versatile ability, and he's got a Ponyta. I have no idea what kind of deck we're about to see here, but the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to discard the AZ, and I kind of want to keep this Enhanced Hammer laying around in case he goes strong, so we're going to discard the Super Scoop Up. And we don't have the ability to get Hoopa. That's fine. That is fine. We're just going to grab a Seismitoad. Our Hoopa's prized. It's okay when that happens. That just means we are going to do these two things here. And I do not have any draw support. I probably should have gotten a Shaman on that turn, but that's no big deal. We'll attach and then we'll pass the turn. Now that is what you like to call a misplay. I probably should have gotten the Shaman on that turn, but I didn't want to you know, just stick myself with one Giratina, because if I put down the draw and I don't get a good draw off a Shaman, I'm stuck with one Giratina, and here comes the Lysander. Alright, that is not good. Well, we can always pick it up with the AZ, so it's not a big deal. If we can top deck Double Dragon Energy, we can pick it up with the AZ. Hopefully we top deck something like... Oh! Okay then. Well, we have the Enhanced Hammer to take care of its special energy. So we're gonna lock him down this turn with the abilities. He can't use his Replace ability. Just in case anything funny happens here, we're gonna pick up the AZ. And we're gonna end. So now he cannot use his versatile ability, so he's pretty much stuck active for a turn. There's nothing he can do, except for retreat. Which, if he wants to do that, he can do that. It's a free turn for me. So he's probably going to have a Zora Arc Engine. This really looks like a standard deck with the exception of Mew being in it, because in any type of expanded deck, you're more than likely running Keldeo for Rush and Retreat. Stand-in, I mean, yes, Mind Jack is a better attack, but Keldeo has more HP, and it is a basic. And he's running Remoraid and Octillery here, which means he probably doesn't have a Shaman, which is good for us. So we're going to try and get 2 matches in here. Hopefully this first match goes rather quickly. And he passes his turn. Alright, we got the Double Dragon Energy we've needed, so we can just start attacking. So we'll pick up that Giratina-EX, we'll play down the other Giratina, and then we're going to Chaos Wheel, which will completely block out all of his special energies. It will block out his stadiums and his tool cards, which Mew is a Pokemon that does rely upon special energies, especially looks like in his deck here because he's got a lot of different attacks he can go for. Now, barring a retreat next turn, we are going to get 2 prize cards, which will help our dead hand right now. Really need those prize cards. So we need them to be decent cards, or we need to top deck something. I got pretty lucky there top decking the Double Dragon Energy. I bailed myself out for the misplay earlier. I should have really grabbed that Shaman because I forgot that I had thrown away the Scoop Up. And even after that, I could have just picked it up and put it down on the Toad, but he Lysandered, so it didn't really matter. All right. Let's see where we're at here. And he's got another Lysander. So that's going to put us down, unless we can top deck a VS Seeker or something useful, that's going to be pretty painful. I don't really know what he's going for here with this Mew. He's just kind of loading up fairy energies. Oh, and he Quaking Punched. Incredible. Well, that puts a stop to our computer search there, and not like we had the cards for it anyways, but a draw pass is painful in this or any format. So he's just going to Quaking Punch us to death, and there's really not much we can do about it. Let's play to Bridget. He's probably, if he has a Shaman, going to grab the Shaman. Bridget's a supporter, lets you grab 1 basic Pokemon EX or 3 basic Pokemon, and he went with just the 1 basic Pokemon, which is the Xerneas from Breakthrough. Alright, so I kind of get what he's doing here. Now he's going to start Rainbow Forcing once he has enough energy on the Mew. It's not a bad card. We are going to Skyla here. We're going to Skyla for a Juniper. So next turn, I can have some more cards in my hand if I need it. I realize I'm going to lose my computer search, but I really, really need some cards in my hand rather quickly. Let's see. So he's doing 30 a hit right now. I have 110. So right now it is a 4-hit KO. But he could probably take the KO if he hits off with the Xerneas here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Pokemon type on here. So it does, let's see, 30 more. So he's hitting for 150, 160, 180 with a Muscle Band. So he is doing some damage. Now our items are shut off here. We will play the Juniper, putting some more cards back in our hand. We will play a Silent Lab. That will shut off Mew's ability. Let's see here. We cannot play any items, so we will end our turn. Hopefully the Mew does not have any more abilities, and then we can get a VS Seeker back, get the AZ, pick it up, heal, and then start doing some more locking with Giratina-EX. That was... Hopefully if he doesn't play Stadium, we get the knockout next turn, and we can start taking control of the game again. I will attach a Muscle Band to the Giratina, and then he doesn't have anything for me to Headringer. I can play Jirachi if he decides to retreat, but we won't be doing that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do here is play this. I'm going to try and get a Super Scoop up here so I have the opportunity to play more supporters. If I miss it, that's fine. We will play the VS Seeker. We will grab our AZ. We'll pick it up. We'll promote it. Now we're going to play it back down. I will attach another Double Dragon to it. And then I don't really need this Jirachi. Honestly, I can't think of any other things I would need, so I might just Juniper it away next turn. But for now, we're just going to Chaos Wheel. We're going to take the knockout, collect our first 2 prize cards. From here, it should be pretty smooth sailing. He can't play any tools or special energy cards. We did end up prizing a Shaman, so there it is. And then I have the opportunity, I'm probably going to put the DCE down on the Toad next turn, so that way I can start item locking if I need to. I could really use a Keldeo and a Floatstone, so I can start switching depending on situations. One thing I really like about Giratina is its damage output. It pretty much 2-hit KOs everything in the format, which is really nice in a locked deck, especially with Toad. It kind of like 4 or 5-hit KOs sometimes, because the ability Quaking Punch only does 30 damage here for that attack. It does shut off item cards, which is nice. Pretty much telling your opponent you can't play with half your deck is really nice to do, but damage output isn't there, which is why you run the Laser Bangs. So Octillery here, its ability Abyssal Hand lets you draw up to 5 cards in your hand. Really nice in decks where you're going to play a lot of cards, but Shaman's always the better call. Okay, what does this do? Okay, well this can get you a free Pokemon, but at the expense of a free prize card. And our opponent's going to forfeit. We do not have a Victor in their hand. They're going to scoop. So that's the first battle there. First match. We will play 2 matches. Some matches where they're a little bit longer, we will play a little bit more, but we'll only play 1. But right now I'm about 15 minutes in, so we have time for another match. All right. I lost the coin flip. I don't win coin flips. No basic Pokemon, so my opponent's going to get a mulligan, which is okay. That would have been nice if I could have just gotten a Toad or Giratina right in that opening hand. Man, that would have been nice. Didn't happen. Just like swap out this like Crushing Hammer for a Giratina or a Toad. Perfect opening hand. But didn't work out that way, so hopefully the next hand will be kind to us. Alright, well we opened with the Toad. I was a little worried that we were going to have to start just a Shaman, but okay. So because we have Floatstone in our hand, I can Ultra Ball away the Skyla. And then we have this to get DCE should we need it. So we're set up pretty nicely here. He's going to play the first Stadium, which I do not like playing Stadium's first opening turn. It basically says if I replace his Stadium, he loses a Stadium. And if we each play 4 Stadiums, I win the Stadium war. You never want to, especially if your deck is reliant on Stadiums, like these fighting Stadiums generally are these fighting decks. They rely on them for damage output. It's never good to lose the Stadium war. I don't really rely on Stadiums, but I get to lock them in anyway, so it's pretty good there. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to Skyla away. We're going to Ultra Ball away a Skyla and a Scoop Up. Hopefully we have our Hoopa. No Hoopa again. We cannot catch a break. And Keldeo's not prized. You know, I think we're just going to go with the Keldeo here because we have the Floatstone and it promotes free switching. So that way he cannot Lysander up my Shaman and I get to keep it in play. Alright, we're going to play down the Shaman. We're going to set up, draw an extra 4 cards. Perfect. So we're going to go for the knockout first turn here. We can't get it because we don't have Muscle Band. So let's think. You know what? We're going to replace the Stadium. We might be able to get Muscle Band here. Let's try and scoop up the Shaman here. Yep, pick it up for another 3 cards. Have we played a supporter this turn? No, we have not. So we are going to take a real quick knockout here because the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to computer search for a Muscle Band, which is going to be really nice here. And then we're going to VS Seeker for the Skyla. And then we're going to Skyla for Hypnotoxic Laser. That's going to allow us to take a knockout here. Turn 1, get rid of a Muscle Band, get rid of a Strong Energy, and really put a damper on his deck. And the next turn, because he's got the Focus Sash, we're going to need to do the same thing to take a KO on it. But we still have the VS Seeker, we still have the Skyla, and that's why I really like a Skyla in this deck. I only play a one-off, but it's coming handy so far. Alright, now we're shutting off items, so that should help out with his... Oh, and there's our Hoopa. So next turn we can play the Hoopa, we can get another Giratina, and we could probably get another Shaman. I don't think we really need more than that. Hoopa's ability is Scoundrel Ring. Basically, when you play it from your hand onto your bench, you get to take up to 3 Pokemon EX, except for Hoopa EX. So no infinite Hoopas. So that's why Hawlucha is so good. Hawlucha, for 1 energy, just 1 energy, and it did 80 damage to a Pokemon EX. That is insane. So first thing we're going to do here is we are going to play that. We'll grab a Giratina. We'll grab another Shaman. Yes. Okay. So first thing we're going to do here, play down the Giratina, attach double colorless energy, play down the Shaman, set up for another 6. Let's see if we can just... Nope. Oh. So we are going to Skyla again for another Hypnotoxic Laser. And then we're going to take a KO. Now I only play 3 lasers, so I only have 1 left. But hopefully that shouldn't be too big of an issue here. I don't want this Halucha sticking around and doing a lot of damage. It's going to go to 50 plus the 30. That Focus Sash doesn't let it get one-hit KO by anything, but now you can't really play any more Focus Sashes. And I think I'm in a pretty good spot here. I'm not going to play the Silent Lab because I want to be able to rush in retreat with my own Keldeo. But we are going to prevent him from getting... Alright, so we're in a predicament here. So first thing we're going to do here is we are going to play down the Headringer, make him attach, commit another energy, Double Dragon. Hopefully we hit heads in the Crushing Hammer. Denying the energy, which means he cannot attack for another 2 turns. We will play the Juniper. Get a fresh hand to 7. Okay. So, we have options here. So, Quaking Punch is a 50 to 180. It's a 4-hit KO, so we are going to rush in. We will retreat to our Giratina. And we will Chaos Wheel. We will prevent any special energies from going down. We will prevent any stadiums from going down. And we will prevent any tool cards from going down. Tool cards are very important to fighting decks like Focus Sash, Muscle Band. And it's going to be a 2-hit KO. I felt like with Seismitoad, we'd be allowing him too much time to kind of get back into the game if we were to allow him to play through those 4 hits. Lucario sets up pretty fast, plus its Corkscrew Smash kind of allows it to draw through item lock. Even after it gets set up, it only takes a couple of turns, so I really wanted to keep that in check, honestly. Alright, so he grabs a Karina and a Level Ball, more than likely going for a Golbat. He's probably going to start stacking down damage on the... and he plays the Switch. Probably had to have seen that coming, and he's going to attach an energy to his Lucario, and he's going to get off a decent amount of damage here. Well, 20 to the Giratina. It's not nothing. But after Golbat damage, he'll have 40 to Giratina, and he's putting it right on that. Alright. Now, if we could scoop one of these up and play down the Jirachi, I would really, really, really like to get a Lysander. I do not have a VS Seeker. I don't really want to throw my hand away, so I'm not going to Juniper just for the sake of Juniper. I'm not going to end just for the sake of ending. And I don't need to team Flare Grunt. I want to keep that for when he gets his Lucario up. That way he really can't do much to it. I can kind of keep energy off of it. So we're going to take another Chaos Wheel. We'll continue the lock. And we'll get another Seismitoad. Now I am in a pretty awkward position where I have to take another 3 prize cards. I have to KO another 2 EX Pokemon or an EX at an irregular. So hopefully I don't have to KO 2 more EX to take the game, because that is a lot to do. He's still in a position where he has to KO 3 EX, I have to KO 2. So we're not ahead by much. I would feel much more comfortable if we were just... Oh, and we're going to get the easy KO here on this here. So I like my hand where it is. I don't see the need to play any more supporters, so we're just going to take the Chaos Wheel. And now you see why lock decks are so good. He can't play any stadiums to help him. He cannot play any tool cards to help him. And we're going to take 2 prize cards. Hopefully we can get a Hypnotoxic Laser. Next turn, I am going to throw the hand away, looking for that Hypnotoxic Laser so we can take the KO on Crobat. Unless, of course, he gets something else to bench. You don't see roller skates too often. Alright, so my opponent's going to Ultra Ball. Choosing to discard a VS Seeker. And what else do you throw away here? Let's take a look. And a Rare Candy. So he plays Rare Candy for something. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen enough of his deck, to be honest with you. And mainly in part due to Seismitoad Quaking Punching. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to throw this entire hand away. Going to take 10 of our 17 remaining cards here. hoping for Hypnotoxic Laser just to end the game. Don't want to give another turn to get back into it. And we got it. So that should wrap it up. We got 2 clean wins on this first episode. Couldn't ask for a better start. So we'll run this deck for the rest of the week. We will then switch it up the week after. If you have any suggestions for decks I should run, put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to run the deck. I don't have a ton of cards on TCGO. I'm just starting out with the game.